In my mind, summer is the time to make memories that last a lifetime. If we were to talk about my unusual summer memories, it would have to be curly fry. Hi, I'm Xiao Ling. Curly Fry was a nickname for a boy. His hair was quite curly, so I simply called him that. He is the son of this migrant couple living downstairs. Only on every summer vacation, he would let them come home. I had an impression that daylight in summer was always longer. I would promise my mom that I would come home before it's dark, but sometimes things didn't happen the way we wanted. This was a summer story. I liked building a sand castle, so I went to the beach one day and I met Curly Fry there for the first time. I built a sand castle, so did he. I made a Disney princess castle and marked my big name on it. As I was building my long corridor, Curly Fry got in my way with his car's castle. I thought it was unacceptable when he trespassed on my princess property. So I drew a line to demarcate the boundary and made it clear to him that my territory was off limits. Not to be outdone, Curly Fry erased the line and redrew a new one. All of a sudden, my stomach growled loudly and so did his. We were both embarrassed and pretended like we didn't hear that. Then we realized that the sun was going to set. It seemed that this childish fight for pride was coming to an end before it even began. As the sky was getting dark by the minute, Curly Fry and I rushed home. Why do you follow me? No, why do you follow me? I live here. I live here too. You are a liar. I live on the 6th floor. No, you are a liar. I stay on the 4th floor. So why haven't I met you before? No kid lives on that floor. I come here to stay with my parents only on summer vacation. I just arrived. Suddenly, I recalled the pretty lady with long curly hair living downstairs. Then I looked at this boy with curly hair in front of me. Ah, what bad luck! Why do I have to live in the same building as this person? Then we went our separate ways to go home. It was around 8 o'clock when I reached home. That summer day was really long. My mom warned me if I came home late next time, I would have nothing to eat for dinner. What remains for me were the cold leftover dishes, the sand grains in my sandals, and the long demarcation line. Perhaps this was the growing pains of middle schooler. To my disbelief, I met Curly Fry again on the beach the second day. It was hotter on the second day. Sleeping on the bamboo mattress was similar to cooking a steak on a grill. It would create multiple sear marks on my body. On that day, I went to the beach with sear marks on my body. I saw Curly Fry perfecting and repairing his yesterday's castle. And I chose to ignore this rude and annoying person. I believe my castle was better than his. Likewise, I also began on my castle improvement plan. Our sweat kept dripping on the hot sands continuously. Out of a sudden, our heads banged together. The loud banging sound was the first gunshot of an imminent war. It was also a reminder of yesterday's unsettled wandering dispute. We stared at each other aggressively, and nobody wanted to make any apology or concession to each other. A few moments later, we went back to work hard and build like crazy. Exactly, the one who finished first would win the war. This was a war without gunfire. The summer was so hot that the heat could fry an egg and our bread too. In the end, we built up 2 long walls with corridors simultaneously. Then we decided to connect them. In other words, Car Castle and Princess Castle were linked with a highway. These 2 totally unrelated castles became one. It must be destiny. It's better to win together than to compete. In the face of interest, enemies are friends. The moment we built the friendship bridge, the princess embraced the robot's car. Finally, Curly Fry and I got all tired out, so we laid on our back, hands on our crossed fingers, and gazed directly at the sun. We felt a fit of dizziness. Then Curly Fry asks me a question that I hated most. How much did you score in your final exam? Some people study hard for the exam, some people cheated during the exam, and I depended on my luck during the exam. Knowing that I simply made a narrow pass in every exam, I was very reluctant to share. Probably 50-something. I always got full marks. Well, next time if your parents gave you a hitting, I would tell my parents and then you can hide in my flat. I looked at the red marks imprinted by the bamboo mattress on my body. It seemed that this had caused a huge misunderstanding. I suspected that the fraud was just bragging about his exam marks. He couldn't even tell the difference. Don't worry, I can send my robot car to protect you. Then he took out a transformer car from his pocket. Swoosh! Transform! Who is this joker to pity me? I thought it was an idle drama, but it turned out to be a painful story. I didn't have any princess dolls, but Curly Fry had all his robot cars parked by his castle. They looked great. My castle was too inferior to his. Who needs your protection? We still don't know who has the last laugh. Tomorrow I will use my finished castle for our final battle. I will call upon all my princesses. My father, who always slept early, actually stayed up to watch football on TV. My mom prepared snacks and beer for him. We wanted to shout goal with everyone even though there was a time difference. She brought me some ice cold watermelon juice and I thought an exhausted Uncle Van Gogh needed some. Good! It tasted so good. I'm going to work hard after drinking. To win, I ransacked my toy box to find my dolls. One princess lost an arm. Another lost a leg. And one more who had no hair on her head. I was like a headless chicken and I didn't know what to do. In the end, I could only use some paper to draw some colorful dresses and pasted them to cover up their missing arm and leg. As for the bald princess, I secretly cut off some of my hair to replace her lost hair. These beautiful princesses turned into pitiful princesses. It took me a long time before I put together a few decent-looking princesses. I used to think that I wanted to be a princess, but later I found out that I might want to be a queen. The next day, Curly Fry and I arrived at the beach as promised. He brought a cart of toys and I only had few randomly assembled princesses. Each of his car robots was placed in various positions in the castle and they looked so formidable. I surrendered. Curly Fry suddenly panicked. I'm sorry, My Majesty, please don't cry. No way, I'm not a crybaby. We looked up, the sky was as dark and thick as ink. It looked threatening. In summer, the weather are mostly hot, but there are days that rain heavily. The rain hit our faces like broken beads. Curly Fry jumped to the side and picked up 2 coconut leaves and gave me the bigger one. Hurry up and run! The rain came as a surprise. We were holding the coconut leaves and running at the same time. Water was splashing all around us. On our way home, I thought Curly Fry looked handsome. Still, he couldn't outrun me. When we arrived downstairs, we were all soaked through by the rain. We went home immediately. The rain lasted for a good 3 days. By the time we returned to the beach, only some puddles and flattened sand piles remained. When the sky cleared and the sun came out, our sandcastles were gone. When I saw the wet paper dresses that I had made, my tears almost came out. Curly Fry raised his voice and said, "Next summer, let's come back and build castle again. We can build many castles. They'll be much bigger than before, right?" My sadness dissipated instantly. "Well said, I will do much better than you, Lamb." "You bragger." Eventually, the school reopened. I won't see Curly Fry anymore. After the rain, you won't find pearls in the shells on the man-made beach. But in this long summer vacation, Curly Fry left me with a memory that shines like a pearl. Why's the princess's hair missing a piece? It's so strange, but I dare not ask.